Hi Kiwi, alright, we are back at another episode of Hades 1, and today this is our mirror setup. We are going to be taking the aspect of Eris on the rail. We're going to take, well, let's talk about what we're going to take as far as keepsake goes. I think I am going to take Meg, and I am going to take Zeus. And the reason for that is, take a peek at our mirror real quick. Or take a peek at this. So, no additional bounties left for any higher heat. We have done what the game requires us to do, and that is complete up to 20 heats worth of bounties, except apparently I still have a bounty left at 0 heat. So I figure what I'm going to do today is we are going to do another speed run. We are going to try and beat this level or this game as quickly as possible using the Eris rail, because this is the only level of difficulty I have left to get the bounties off of. Apparently I would have assumed that it would have auto cleared, but all right, well, zero difficulty, but maximum speed, that's our goal. And Zeus attack on the Eris rail is where it all begins from. Now, one thing I will point out is typically, if you're speedrunning, you would want to take 2 levels of extreme measures because it sets up Lerny to be a little bit closer together when he spawns his heads in. Similarly, you want forced overtime maxed out because it makes enemies spawn in faster. So this won't be the optimal speedrun, but it'll be a speedrun nonetheless. Let's see how fast we can get a clear time on a new weapon. We already got like a sub 12, I think closer to 11-minute bow run with Hera.
I and all of us upon Olympus are anticipating your success, dear nephew. Now let me see if I can't help spur you along.
So let's see if we can get sub 10 minutes this time. All right, a rare tier attack isn't terrible. Frankly, it's only 3 extra damage, so it's not that different from a common. And basically, as long as we see more Zeus, we're going to have a lot of damage. It's been a while since I've done a rail build of any nature, honestly. Now the question is, do I take this Chaos Gate? Because I suppose, realistically speaking, actually, you know what? The reason why we take the Chaos Gate is because it will speed us up. It'll skip a room worth of combat, and that's faster. That's why we take Chaos here. All right, what have you got?
I require no exchange of words with you, merely a choice.
The reason why I was questioning whether I should take Chaos or not was mostly just a matter of, well, would the attack damage up if we got one matter? Now, here's the issue. This is the boon I want. Rarer boon chance means better chance at legendaries, better chance at duos, and better chance at just stronger base damages. But having 5 chamber rewards hidden will definitely hurt us in the long run unless I get lucky. And I like consistency over luck, so we'll take the 150% more damage from striking behind. We can still probably use that. I do have 5 rerolls. I could try and reroll here. I don't know if it's worth it though, because this is decent. This is actually decent if I position well. It's not perfect, it's not going to be consistent, but it's, yeah, we'll take it. Let's save our rerolls for like Zeus and, oh, Artie, okay. Heck yeah, Artemis. Artemis will be great for getting crits, which will speed along our damage potential substantially. A minor optimization worth pointing out is enemies will spawn facing to the right, so always position to their left, and you will get those back attacks on spawn, which ups your damage potential pretty immediately.
The dead must make a rather easy target, wouldn't you say? Let's see what you can do to them, given your choice of these.
All right, Hunter's Mark, pressure points. Hunter Dash doesn't really benefit us. Taking her special here is okay, since we're not really using the special for damage, and it'll set us up for Lightning Rod, which could be decent damage. Lightning Rod is actually pretty darn awesome, all things considered. Hunter Dash, like, I don't understand how the dash strike works on the rail if it actually does empower our shot. And the base damage on the attack is not what we're using. We're honestly scaling more with Zeus's damage and then all of the set tier 2 boons he offers, like Jolted and Double Strike and Chain Lightning and that sort of thing. So I think we'll go ahead and take Deadly Flourish just to set us up for her duo later. And then we're going to take the Palm and pop that right on the attack for some extra damage. Should give us like a nice, roughly 50% more damage at minimum, I would imagine. I do have to remember that I want to position for back attacks as much as possible, because that will make us do a lot more damage thanks to that Chaos Boon, although I guess we're not having the effect of the Chaos Boon just yet, but we will soon enough, so it's worth getting into the habit of trying to remember to position. Alright, 4 more damage. That's about a quarter or a third of our damage. Not bad. I don't need to buy this yet, and we'll take coin because coin means more damage. One thing that I forgot about that I should have taken on the mirror is taking high confidence. We're not really taking damage, and as long as we are above 80% HP, we will deal extra damage thanks to high confidence. That would have been more optimal for a speedrun, but well, I'll just take that. I think I'm making it apparent. I don't speedrun often. All right, we are seeing Poseidon as our next god, which isn't actually that bad either because we can potentially set ourselves up for some really powerful duos with Sea Storm, although I guess Poseidon's dash would be what I took. Yeah, if we get Splash Dash, we could potentially see some Sea Storm damage on top of everything else, which will be pretty decent.
See you next.
Persephone, she says you're really stuck down there, born of the underworld, something like that. Well, if you ask me, that's no kind of attitude to have. You can do anything you set your mind to, nephew. Take it from me.
Well, if you say so, Poseidon. All right, let's see. What have we got? Cast, Call, Hydraulic Might. Honestly, Hydraulic Might is really good here. 75% more damage for the first 10 seconds of a room with no jury summons. That actually matters a lot. That's a lot of extra damage. So I guess we'll take that since we weren't offered his dash anyway. All right, Sisyphus, or we'll take Sisyphus. The reason for Sisyphus is, again, this is a room without combat, but it counts as one of the rooms.
Little pick me up, perhaps.
It counts as a room that will take us to the end. We'll take the coin here just for.
Most excellent.
Not now.
Oops.
Cheers, mate. Baldy, please accept this humble offering.
You know, I forgot that I should have used Meg on the sneak. I'm not used to having chthonic keepsakes that I use for other things like damage. All right, what did Boldy give us today? Attack bonus 2%. Boldy, you want this run to go well. All right, our first hammer. So there are a lot of good hammers on the rail. We're going to be looking for ones that benefit the attack or increase our AoE or anything of that nature. I have to consider what that actually means for us and what would actually fall into that. But we'll see what we get. And I mean, ultimately, I think the thing about the Eris Rail is it's so inherently strong that you don't really have to try that hard to get a good build going on it. Hazard Bomb, Spread Fire, or Seeking Fire. I've heard Seeking Fire can be rather lackluster. I definitely don't want... I mean, this will increase our base damage, but will hurt our overall build because it takes away 6 shots. Hazard Bomb. Special deals 300 base damage in a large area, but can hurt you. I mean, the issue with this that I discovered is it can crit on us as well. So it'll only hit us for 5 damage, but if it crits, it's 15. It's not worth it. So we're going to take Seeking Fire. It's a 10% damage increase on the attack. It really isn't that great for this build, honestly, but they had to prove me wrong. Now, if this were a casual run, I would take that trial in a heartbeat. Artemis means pressure points, Hunter's Mark. Potentially, well, we can't get duos there. I was going to say Lightning Rod, but not really. But because this is a speed run, sadly, we will have to take the shop. Because it's just it's a room that we clear very fast. Ares. Ares is a consideration, but I don't think he's worth it. Definitely gonna buy that Hermes boon though. That Hermes boon looks awesome.
Come on up.
I guess I could make an argument for... I could make an argument for, what is it, Blade Rift? To get hunting blades going with Artemis? That could be decent. Well, let's see what Hermes gives us first.
What I need.
Hyper Sprint or Swift Strike. Let's take Hyper Sprint because that is I'm reasonably confident, is a prerequisite to Rush Delivery. Greater Haste, Hyper Sprint. Yeah, so let's take Hyper Sprint. Rush Delivery is just too good not to pass up, and if we get it, it's going to make a big difference in the overall damage potential of this build. The real question is, do I take Ares? I guess, what do we want? Zeus, Poseidon, Artemis. Those are our current 3 gods. Aphrodite doesn't offer more damage. Dionysus technically could with Strong Drink, but not getting it early doesn't matter that much. Demeter could give us Rare Crop on the attack, but that's about all she offers, and she doesn't really have much more in the way of duos that I'd look for. Aphrodite, though, could give us Heartrend. That might honestly be the optimal pull here. So, yeah, let's hold out and see if we can find Aphrodite and go for Heartrend. We won't have a large crit chance, but any crit chance with pressure points followed by Hunter's Mark, and we could be doing some pretty rapid-style meat shots like no tomorrow. I'm willing to risk it. The odds of us finding Aphrodite and without forcing her is low, and I'm probably going to switch out to the Palm Blossom because frankly I don't need much more in the way of anything else. Or I could take the Lambent Plume and try to set myself up for a Hermes legendary or Rush Delivery. Hydraulic Might, Deadly Flourish. No, we'll keep putting it on the attack for now. So 20 more damage, 3 more damage on the attack. What we really need to see is more Zeus, and we're not seeing more Zeus yet. We will see more Zeus.
I'll give these wretches not a minute more.
So if we... Here's the thing. What we really want is more Zeus.
Oh, this is trouble.
And maybe I should have taken the Ares boon exclusively for that reason, because this game really, really, really likes to force you into picking 4 gods before it starts repeating them. So if I want to see another god in the shop or something of that nature, it may be worthwhile, again, sacrificing the option of Heartrend for the sake of seeing more Zeus, because realistically speaking, our greatest damage potential is from more Zeus and nothing else. Something worth pointing out, so this is the reason why speedrunners do not take tight deadline. You get survival rooms like this, and survival rooms actually pause the timer. You can look in the upper right corner, so speedruns are measured by in-game time. We're currently sitting at 2 minutes and 11 seconds. And, well, I'm going to position myself next to the door. Oh, I was a little too slow. We're fine. But see, the timer didn't restart until that room ended, which is nice. We want to see fountain chambers. We want to see non-combat rooms. We want to see encounters like Eurydice, Sisyphus, Patroclus, and that'll save a lot of time. Let's go ahead and buy this palm. I think I'll... it's only 2 damage. It's going to be pretty severe diminishing returns at this point. The question is kind of on the same frame of mind. Do I buy this this Athena with the mindset of, well, I don't really need anything else at this point. I could take her call, and that would... Nah, her call isn't worth it. We want damage. We want Zeus's call, if anything. I don't know. It's like I don't have enough of this is my second ever actual attempt at a speedrun in Hades, so I don't have the like speedrunner mindset of everything yet. It's probably better to take a 4th god, because we're not really camping on getting duos here anyway. All right, I'll buy her. Divine Dash versus Zeus's Dash, Athena's Dash, Artemis Dash, or Poseidon Dash. I think I'll hold out for Poseidon Dash. We'll take Phalanx Shot here. It's not amazing damage, but it is damage. And let's go straight into Meg.
Face the Furies.
Or the Furies, rather. I suppose it's not guaranteed to be Meg.
What you're going to say.
Murder! Zagreus! Murder!
I'm so happy that she can say our name now.
Well, let's try again with happy. How about that? Happy? No murder, only happy. Come on now.
I'm also really, for lack of a better word, happy that the dialogue chain does not end after she says our name. Now we're like, okay, step 1 complete. Let's get on to step 2.
Murder! Murder Zagreus!
Oh, she tried.
Great.
So again, I need to remember that I'm trying to position for back attacks as much as possible. Also, I am not used to the idea of like a 1 Fury boss fight. Like it has been so long since I have done any run without at least 1 level of extreme measures on. This is honestly kind of weird to me. I just focus on DPSing. I don't care about getting hit, honestly. We melt them so fast. Sheesh.
Nice chatting.
But yeah, as long as I remember to back attack, I'm getting a lot of extra damage on them. In typical fashion, I think Elysium is where this run is going to get made or broken. Let's see.
Moving on. Which to choose?
So my options right now in our god pool are Artemis, Athena, Poseidon. I think we take Artemis. Like I said, any sort of crit chance is damage up, and we can't force more Zeus, so I think we do that, yeah.
Go with that one.
Don't need to sell anything, need to remember that. Well of Ixion... well, Light of Ixion is good, but won't get us to skip her. Actually, we'll technically skip a room first. Yeah, we'll take that. So,
Let's go up.
an optimization, I suppose.
Cheers.
And I don't know this for sure, but I'm pretty sure Chaos Gates count as a room that leads you to your boss room. So when you can take them, you take them. Timers pause in these in-between rooms, and certainly Chaos over HP any day of the week. All right, maybe we get an increased boon rarity here. Maybe we get a attack up. Hopefully something good. All right, 70. So this, we don't want to block chamber previews. None of these are really appealing. I haven't needed to reroll for anything. I think I'll reroll once because the cast doesn't matter, the special doesn't matter, and while more back attack damage sounds actually kind of good, the 5 chamber preview blockage is terrible for us. So okay, reroll once. Attack does 33% more damage, increased rarity on boons. Or, well, meta progression is obviously out. So it's 33% more damage on the attack for no penalty that matters to me, or Inferno Bombs, but 17% boon rarity. And I think, honestly, Caustic Favor is better here because the base damage on the attack is not what we care about. But if we get a higher tier Static Discharge for jolted damage, or Chain Lightning, maybe not Chain Lightning so much, but or a Zeus Call, or Artemis's Hunter's Mark, or Pressure Points, those matter. Those absolutely matter. And if we combo that with Eurydice, if we get a Eurydice and get Refreshing Nectar to increase the rarity of the next 3 boons on top of that, I think this is worth it. So for 3 encounters, toss an Inferno Bomb. Enemies toss an Inferno Bomb when slain. Otherwise, afterwards, 17% increased rarity on boons. We'll go for the Artemis room right away. Like I said, we want to get pressure points as soon as possible. If not, her duo with Zeus won't be amazing damage, but will be still pretty darn solid damage, especially once we get those other Zeus boons that we're looking for. Zeus's Legendary, Zeus's jolted effect being the primary contenders for that. I did not take status privilege because I did not foresee myself having a reliable way of activating it.
Gods have spoken.
We went with family favorite instead. There's, ooh, a epic tier hunter. See, this is like, obviously the chaos boon isn't in effect yet, but a 56% chance of marking an enemy as critical is awesome. And there's Eurydice to just double up. Excellent. Okay. I mean, there is a reason to consider Ambrosia Delight to enhance the rarity of our attack, but again, the damage on Jolted is just so darn insane.
Orpheus get into too much trouble, won't you, hun?
Oh, don't you worry, Eurydice. We got him covered. Like, and also, like, there are just so many boons that I have right now that it could hit that I just don't care about. Like, Hydraulic Might, not that great to hit with this. Failing Shot would be terrible. Deadly Flourish would be terrible. So I think it's better that we just take Ambrosia Delight. Sorry, Refreshing Nectar. The next 3 boons have upgraded rarity.
Freshly made.
We see a Zeus boon, and we're basically guaranteed well, we're not guaranteed, but we have a very high chance of seeing a really good boon off of him. All right, Witch's Circle is not ideal, but actually it's just fine because we have a lot of damage because we are running the Eris Rail, and you know what that means. Damage out the wazoo for minimal effort. I guess I should be using Failing Shot to reflect their projectiles, but oh well.
The underworld's wretched dead shall fear you yet, cousin.
Sounds like she's giving us something fancy. What have we got? Divine Dash, Aid, or Deathless Stand. So actually, is there anything here from Athena that I actually want, frankly? Like, her duo with Artemis is whatever. Her duo with Zeus is... I guess it's kind of actually okay. It's not amazing, but it'll do extra damage, and it'll be good for room clearing, I suppose, with everything else. Alternatively, what else can I reroll for? Blinding Flash would make us... Nah, I don't think it's worth it. I honestly, like, that's the thing. Like, unfortunately, Athena showing up here was the worst of the 3 options, or of the 4. Of the 4 gods, she was the one I wanted to see the least, frankly. I think we reroll once and see if we get Failing Shot. Why not?
I would like none of these.
Didn't get it. Okay. What gives us the most damage from? Honestly, probably Holy Shield. I don't want her dash. Do I want her dash? No, I want a Poseidon's dash. Yeah, we'll just take Holy Shield. Oh well.
Athena's power.
So, unlucky roll. That's one of our 2. That's one of our 3 boons. I think I got an Artemis. So we have one room where we get super enhanced rarity. Where are all the enemies? Hello, hello, enemies. Oh, there you are. Of course, my favorite enemy, the ones that waste time. See, we're critting for 567 damage, and we almost killed that thing on spawn, which is great. And these what are they called? Oh gosh, Skull Crushers, that's it. I remember. I had to look it up because I was like, I'm tired of not knowing what this enemy is called. These Skull Crushers are my least favorite, like for a speedrunning perspective, one of my least favorite enemies because they are time wasters. Egregious time wasters.
Gemstones.
All right. We have got our Chaos Boon active. There is Zeus. Okay, this is... Okay, ooh, this is an extremely tough decision because 1, we get Zeus, we get Jolted. 2, we get Hermes, we get Rush Delivery. I don't actually know what equates to more damage here. An epic tier Zeus Jolted or a Rush Delivery? I'm thinking way harder about the speedrun than I really need to. Let's just go by feeling. I think Zeus is more fun and more likely to give us what we want. We'll see Hermes down the road, and even a base tier Rush Delivery is awesome. But it's... We'll see, I guess. We'll see what we get at the end of the day. Now, I'm going to be super bummed if we get forced into Lightning Phalanx after all of that, and we don't get a Jolted option, or Splitting Bolt option. Or no, not Splitting Bolt. What am I trying to say? We don't get the one that we're looking for. We don't get Static Discharge. That's its name. And our cats have the zoomies again this morning, Kiwi.
Uncle Zeus.
Gnocchi is just going everywhere. Oh, and there it is. Epic tier Static Discharge. This is going to up our damage pretty substantially. Our lightning effects make foes jolted. When they attack, they take 109 damage, and we reapply that status ailment very quickly. And, ooh, okay, so now here's a question. Is the time, if I get Rush Delivery, is the time saved by getting that damage up this early better than taking an extra room over the shop? And I think it is. At least in my opinion, it is. It's maybe suboptimal in the reality. It depends on the layout of the room. Oh, wait, that was the end shop. We're fine. Oh, let's not go fishing in the lava. Definitely lost a little time to the fish. But even as a speedrun, this is still a filthy casual doing a speedrun. I don't know how we're doing on time, actually. Are we going to...
Hey, a flame eater.
I'm not convinced we're going to see the sub 10 minute because we really have not been blessed by Zeus spoons very well.
Express delivered message for you, cuz. It says, congratulations, you're my 100th customer today. And here's what you get.
Sounds like we're getting some pretty high tier boons here. Greatest reflex, rush delivery, 75%. There it is. Ooh, this is going to be nice. All right, Lerny. Let's see how fast we can melt Lerny. So Lerny's going to have some trouble against us because when those heads pop out, oh, geez, I haven't seen...
magma temperature lately, Lerny?
I have not seen this layout in ages. Oh my goodness. I forgot what his boss room looked like because we have not done a room like this in so long. Wow. All right. So here's the issue. Like, you can see how far these heads are like positioned relative to each other. It is noticeably further apart, and that actually makes it so I can't really bounce my lightning shots from the Zeus attack off of anything reliably. I have once again realized that I have forgotten to use Meg reliably. So I'm going to have to spam her a little bit in the coming floors if I want to clear them faster. But look at how fast we melt these heads. Like, I just need to remember to toss my dash out every 2 seconds so that I keep hyper sprint up. Because we got, what is it? We have hyper sprint. Hyper sprint only lasts for about 2 seconds after a dash, or maybe not even that. It's like a fragment out of a second. But as long as I constantly dash attack, like, look at us shred that HP.
Enough.
I will say I think there's very little chance that we do a sub 10 minute run on this build. We needed more Zeus spoons earlier, but what we've got, I think we can easily clear sub 12. We'll see if it's my new record or not. That's really what the question becomes at this point. Now that does beg the question, what do we take next? I mean, Pierce Butterfly is more damage. Arguably I could take that just to more reliably deal DPS. Alternatively, I could try and get my HP low and then hug Skull Earring for the 40% damage boost, and that might be more optimal for speed. It's a little bit more high risk, high reward sort of play, but on the same page, I don't feel that threatened. We're running 0 heat for heck's sake. So it's between Pierce Butterfly or Skull Earring, and I think Skull Earring is my answer. I don't think I'll use it until we get to a boss fight that way, but it'll make us clear the boss fight. Or I could take Bone Hourglass. Here, hold on. Let me see what's in the shop. Nothing of particular value. Okay. Then let's go ahead and take Skull Earring. I don't know if this is optimal, but it sounds like fun. Let's use Meg's keepsake since she went out of her way to give it to us. After all, we're taking her Chthonic companion. We've got Batty that I just refuse to use, but she's here in spirit in 2 different forms now. We probably will see our second hammer now. Let's see what it's going to be. Nope, Palm. So we'll take the Palm. We don't really need much in the way of coin unless we see a Zeus boon in the shop, but we've got enough to afford it already. So I'm okay with not taking that just yet. Would be very helpful to me if I were to position it in a manner that allows me to hit enemies. Just need to remember to toss out my special. So I didn't kind of preface the episode with saying this, but so in case you don't remember, the way Eris Rail works is if you stand in the AoE of your special for a certain period of time, all of your damage is enhanced by, I believe it is 75%. Hold on, I can double check this. Where is it? It is 75%. Yeah. I think we take a level on Jolted because that bumps our damage up to 145 per activation. We're going to take the hammer over Athena. Athena doesn't really offer us much in the way of any damage. And really at this point, damage is all we care about. The faster things die, the faster we end this run. And the better time we get at the end. So I don't always understand how the positioning around those divots in the ground, those openings in the ground work. I see an Infernal Trove, and I remember in my last speedrun, I accidentally took an Infernal Trove and was like, why did I do that? No, that's so much time lost, no. One thing that I realize is also suboptimal for my playthrough right now so far is I keep forgetting to toss out my cast. I have Boiling Blood, which means I'll deal more damage to enemies. Cluster Bomb. Special fires a spread of 5 bombs, but each deals minus 30% damage. Special 3 times in rapid succession, or foes targeted by your special move slower and take 30% more damage. Well, I think targeting system is probably our best option here, but Triple Bomb and Cluster Bomb are also a huge amount of damage, plus with the Artemis special, they're pretty decent. But I think I'm just going to stick to benefiting from my attack as much as possible. Alright, once again, as fun as trials sound, we don't take them because they are always going to be time lost. They're always much larger rooms overall. So it's just not inherently worth it for the time it takes. Make sure that we try to avoid standing in the radius of bombs. One thing that you also want to try and do that's a minor optimization, but it does add up to time saved for a speedrun, is try and finish your rooms close to the door. We got unlucky because this guy's just camping over here and I didn't see him, so unfortunately we had to backtrack a little bit. There's Artemis, there's a shop. So once again, shop over Boone, even if unless it's Zeus. Unless it's Zeus, then we make an argument for Zeus. Do I want to buy this Popo Boone? Let's buy this Palm first. What does that hit? It's Lightning Strike. Perfect, so more damage on the attack, although it's only 1. And there's Tidal Dash, so we'll take Tidal Dash. That's a little bit of extra damage for us, and then... Okay, so hear me out. I believe this will be a mini-boss fight. Actually, maybe it's not, because we're not offered both rooms. I'm going to take it, and we'll see. This may just be a champion room, in which case this was... Nope, it's a mini-boss room. Meg. Meg, I remembered. I remembered Meg this time. There we go. And look at how quick she makes work of the mini-bosses. That's why you want to bring Meg for speedruns, because she basically one-shots mini-bosses.
Better stay away from me.
Okay, ooh, these are some nice looking things, none of which are the ones that I want, right? I want, what do we have that we want? We want pressure points, that's what we want. We want pressure points. Or lightning rod. I'll even take lightning rod at this point. But I think I re-rolled here because Tidebreaker is whatever, Artemis Aid is whatever, Exit Wounds is whatever with this build. Let's see what we got. Support fire, there it is, pressure points. Any damage you deal has a 4% chance to be critical. That doesn't sound amazing on paper, but it adds up to a lot, and it gets Hunter's Mark more likely to proc. And because we attack really quickly, it's likely to pop up very quickly. Support fire sounds good on paper, 14 damage every time we attack, but it's really not that much damage. 1 crit from a Jolted is monumentally more damage than anything support fire could ever do. And there's another Zeus, so we're gonna go ahead and take him. We're looking for Chain Lightning to potentially set us up for his legendary later on in the run. Chain Lightning makes it so that our attack spreads between more enemies or bounces between more enemies. Makes great for room clear, makes room clear a little bit better, but more importantly, it again just kind of sets us up for his legendary, which is objectively more important. An extra 40 damage a hit plus AoE. Just sounds amazing.
Olympus, I accept this message.
What do you got, Zeus? Heaven's Vengeance, Lightning Reflexes. Zeus's Aid is also a really good option here because that is a lot of damage. 50 damage per tick, or per hit. It adds up to a lot of extra damage. We're basically gonna be face tanking Hades through the whole fight just to maximize our DPS. I don't want any of this, so we'll move along. HP or Palm, once again, we'll take Palm. If we can get that on another level of Jolted, that will be great damage for us. Large rooms with spread out enemies are probably the antithesis to a fast run, unfortunately, but there's only so much you can do. I just need to remember to pop my Zeus call every time it is ready to go. Splash Dash does end up being a lot of extra damage. It's just very useful early on in Tartarus because you can wall slam enemies and it knocks their HP out of the park. None of these are what we want to see a Palm on, except, you know what, Hunter's Mark is decent. 68% chance to crit is always good. We'll go ahead and take another Palm level. I'm not really that worried about HP. Like I said before, these enemies do not actually hit that hard at this low a heat, and we have the damage to make up for whatever they do hit us with, because we'll kill them faster than it matters. Faster than they think faster than they can threaten our HP, we kill them, basically. Pop out a Zeus just to get some extra damage in, keep you from respawning and keep you from living. Yeah, I think we're doing fine. I think we are more than fine. Oh, well, he says that and then dashes straight face first into a bomb. That could have been better. Unlucky enemy setup is real. Unlucky enemy positioning seems to be the worst part right now. We'll go ahead and toss this onto the call because that's more damage. Palm or shop. We take shop because we may see Zeus, and that's what matters most. One more Zeus spoon, and two more Zeus spoons specifically, and we're good. Artemis isn't bad, but I don't think I have anything I particularly want. Criticals deal more damage, not great. Hunter's Instinct though, faster call generation does sound good. So here's the optimization I can potentially make happen. With the heroes, I take one solid hit from Mysterious and I'm probably put into Skull Earring range, and that'll bump up our damage pretty substantially. Since I didn't bring high confidence, I'll use low confidence instead.
I always shall rise up to thwart your wicked plans, monster.
A cute notion, Theseus, but not gonna work. So I'm gonna just stand here and see, there we go, we have Skull Earring, and now all our damage does 40% more damage, and Theseus is already into his second phase. Asterius is now into his second phase. Pop Theseus as quick as possible. Need to reload. And there we go. Heroes. Well, one hero vanquished. And then remember to Zeus, and there we go. Oh, it's so funny watching these guys get melted. Doesn't matter how fast you're trying to go. Never forget to greet your good shade. He blesses the run with good RNG. Or at least the next one, if not this one.
So you thwarted the champion of Elysium.
I think I keep Skull Earring, honestly. Let's see. Still not getting any luck with this. You know, I forgot to use Meg. If I had used Meg in the last fight, we would have melted them. All right. I'm basically just I need to remember to use Meg in every chamber at this point, or every, like, final chamber. Now, here's where the run really gets sad with RNG, potentially. We don't get a 2-chamber Styx, and we just kind of feel like the run goes a lot slower. Like, even one of the most important things to keep in mind is that oh, there is a Zeus spoon over there. Let's see. Artemis, we want to take mini boss rooms, and the reason for that is mini bosses are exceptionally faster. I did ignore that fish. Hopefully it'll still be there when we come back. It probably won't be, but oh well, that's my fault for not.
That's what you get.
Choosing to prioritize speed over like a second's time loss on fishing. Oh well, it's not like we have much to gain from fishing anyway. At this point, we're actually, really the main thing we need at this point is more darkness, honestly. Jeez, I'm not used to having Styx rooms this quick. I used Lightning Phalanx there defensively before I started approaching them because I knew they were going to shoot out a projectile before I could get close enough to hit them. And it worked really well. Kind of proud of that. That was a minor optimization, but it felt pretty good to pull off. Another minor optimization that I just realized I can do is I basically dash into enemies to wall bounce them while I'm shooting, and then they take damage from splash dash plus the wall bounce. It's pretty great. There's another Hermes boon out there. If I get greater haste, that's going to be a huge damage up. Okay, we'll take the other mini boss room, hope for a 2-chamber Styx, and I don't think I'm going to, like, ideally if I could afford more I would, but it doesn't look like I'm going to. All these little tiny rats die in one hit, so I don't worry about empowering myself with Eris. I just tossed out a special because I was reloading anyway. Let's see. We want lucky shop items if we can. More damage from attacking from behind may not be worth what we can get from a Hermes boon here, so I think I'll sit on the gold. If we do not get a 2-chamber Styx, we will in fact go for the coin room next, because I think that is what we stand to gain the most from. Oh, we have Tony. Howdy, Tony. Unfortunately, Tony is huge time loss because Tony likes to dig around and like not become targetable at any given moment. Like, there he goes, and there's so much time to be lost on Tony. Why is he named Tony? I don't know. I think that's just kind of an agreement that the speedrunning community came up with, or it may just be a Halion-specific agreement. I am not sure. Either way, I think it's hilarious, and therefore I'm keeping it. Well, looks like we're losing our speedrun to Styx RNG. Unfortunate, but not surprising. We'll go ahead and take Blinding Flash. This would have given us status privilege if we had a means of getting status privilege, but we don't even have it on the mirror. All right, I cannot afford the Hermes boon. I can't afford the Zeus boon. I do think Hermes is potentially better damage. Chain Lightning doesn't do much, and we have no means of getting Zeus's legendary because we don't have the prerequisite for it. So I think we prioritize Hermes, and I'm not going to sell anything because everything that we have is some form of damage at this point. I think mostly. There's probably some boon that I'm not thinking of that I could sell and not see any major losses off of not having, but I don't want to risk it. And pondering those thoughts will only cost us time, you know? Yeah, we're definitely not beating my best time, unfortunately. We got really unlucky on the. Ooh, we're getting really crappy Styx RNG. Unfortunate. Hate to see it happen. Oh well. Still a strong run and still a fast run. But there's only so much you can do when the fates just say, not today, Jeff. Not today, not any day. I see you, but I see your attack, but I do not see your body. There you are. Okay. I've still forgotten to use Meg in almost every turn. All right. Well, at least maybe I remember to use it against Hades.
Thank you, mate.
Let's see. Greatest Reflex, auto reload, second wind. After using a call, 36% more damage. I don't know if that beats just getting, I don't think that actually beats just getting greater haste here, honestly. Although this is 36% move speed, so that is a 30, actually, you know what? That's more damage than greater haste could give us. The only stipulation being it depends on our call, but we generate our call extremely fast. I think I'll take it, honestly. Second wind sounds decent here. Especially because it's a damage, it's a double hitting damage steroid. We get damage steroid just by the virtue of it gives bonus damage, but then we also get the movement speed, which then dips into rush delivery, which further enhances our damage. So, you know what? I'm convinced. Sounds good.
Not yet.
All right. What do we think Artemis will offer us? So, how much do you want to bet we get a 5-chamber Styx? Like, we had a really potentially good run going, and then the game is just like, nope, 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 nope. I think I'm gonna reroll here. I think I have more to gain from any sort of damage boosting effect, which we didn't get the ones we want, but I'll take Braid of Atlas, I'll take Chimera Jerky. Even if it's not a lot of damage, it is a little bit more damage on cast and special. They may not be our main DPS sources, but they are still DPS. They are still DPS, and that matters. Every bit of damage matters when you're trying to speedrun, I suppose. Not enough to really make a difference, but we take what we can get, and we just lament bad RNG, but we still have, we'll easily have a new record on the rail, if nothing else. All right. Do we take support fire now, or do we take the 22% extra crit damage? I think we take support fire. I think in this instance, support fire does more for us, honestly. Not that it particularly matters. All right, anything else we can buy from the shop? We can get one more Poseidon boon. I think I'll take it. Mirage Shot. Or Typhoon's Fury. Typhoon's Fury. Ooh, Boiling Point, though. I honestly think Boiling Point gives us more damage than Mirage Shot does, so I'll take that. Basically, I'm going to face tank Hades until I get into the red.
Deliberating briefly, Cerberus concludes that yes, he shall accept the sack.
Let's see how fast we can melt Dad. We want to take damage, get into the red to activate Skull Earring. And I need to remember about Meg. I probably save her for the second phase because phase 1, he has 3 segments of HP where his HP caps before you can do more damage. He's got to summon all his friends after all.
You would take aim at me with Exegriff. Then very well.
I know that he has some custom dialogue when there's a fish spawned in this location directly in front of him. He's like, it's looking at me, taunting me. I would love to see Hades fishing. That would be a fun little father-son bonding experience of taking the rod of fishing and just going to town together. Oh, and here goes Hades, wasting our time. There you are. I see you, Dad. Come on, do your thing. All right, still not enough damage. Oh, we phased him. Go ahead and pop this on myself so that I can kill your shielder friend as soon as it spawns. Okay, there we go. Shielder friend dead. And he missed us. We'll go ahead and use our call. Unfortunately, oh wow, I am fast with hyper sprint. Oh, got distracted. Probably should focus on DPSing, right? Not really seeing much in the way of Hunter's Mark. Oh, I'm like, where did his enemy? He spawned an enemy, but I don't see it. There it is. Okay. Well, this should melt him pretty quickly. Oh, I have greater call. Ooh, wow, I generate God Gauge fast. This is unfortunate. Dad, can we stop wasting time? We are just having really bad RNG. How many times has he darknessed himself out of the picture? All right, here. Have a Meg.
I have to help him, Lord.
Megara, what are you doing here?
Excellent. Okay, now we are in the red. We're gonna pop as much damage as we can. Look at his HP get melted. Skull Earring is actually really strong. I didn't appreciate it in previous runs because I mean it's a high risk reward sort of situation. I've lost HP, but I want to just keep up the attack. I think I do more damage by... Oh my goodness, we got the greater call. Completely useless.
With your youth comes a certain strength, it seems.
All right, by far not even close to our fastest run.
Well,
but still, 13-minute run? No one's going to complain about that, you know? All right.
In the name of someone very sore right now.
Well, we definitely had some bad, some unlucky RNG. Could have gotten a much better set of hammers. Could have gotten jolted way earlier, although we did get a very strong jolted. We could have gotten a higher tier attack. We could have gotten Zeus's legendary. Those are probably the big breadwinners for the run if we had gotten them. But I certainly am not honoring these. Those don't really matter too much. I think the things that carried, obviously, Lightning Strike, Static Discharge. Hunter's Mark and Pressure Points are always nice. We'll point that out. Honestly, Abyssal Ambush, honestly, probably did a whole lot of damage, but I think realistically speaking, I mean, it's Rush Delivery, man. Can you go wrong with Rush Delivery? Where are you in there? I know you're somewhere. I'm not good at recognizing things by their, there it is. Do I want to toss out anything to show off? I mean, Abyssal Ambush was pretty cool. Nah, I think this is the picture. All right, 71 win streak, 103 total clears. Look at that, 32 heat cleared on every weapon, and we accomplished that by doing a dash-only run in the last episode. Pretty wild, but yeah, definitely not beating 11-11 on this run. But new fastest adamant rail run. Not going to complain about that. All right, let's do our house roundup and call it an episode.
Let's fish.
I find it funny how I do a speed run and yet my episode length for a 13-minute run is still like 3 times that amount. But
Like this. A fine catch.
I like to kind of describe the thought process because I think it's helpful for people to understand what I'm thinking in the moment.
Beyond this point lies such a horrifying fate that we had better speak no more of it for now.
I think it is.
Why you?
It's good to learn. Like if you don't know how to speedrun Hades, which I'm not going to claim that I fully do. I know some optimizations, but that's about the extent of it. I'm learning, but vocalizing my mistakes and
It's been a while, everybody.
my things that I'm realizing
You're good to go.
are cool to learn and also just help me process and kind of think about what I want to do
Not the faintest doubt that you can do this.
for future runs when I'm doing like speedrun type things, you know?
You've always been there for me, boy.
It is also helpful because sometimes I say something that is wrong and then someone in the comments points it out to me, and I am so genuinely grateful for those comments.
One of the frightful maws of Cerberus busily grooms the other two.
Because I'm not going out of my way to research optimizations.
That parchment work, it never goes away.
It's just things that I come across as I like play more or watch other Hades players.
I work together with her now.
Oh, Orpheus.
The head chef is going to want this fish. Orpheus made the board.
Good job, Orpheus. But yeah, it's like I enjoy my comments when they're like, hey, did you know you could do this? Or this is something that would help you?
Gemstones, please.
And I'm like, I didn't know that Artemis is, for some reason I can't read, that
Oh, it's just for you, chef.
Artemis's legendary requires 2 of her prerequisite boons and not just 1. And I'm searching aimlessly for a boon I will never get because of that.
Never thought that the administrative chamber would have been so invaluable, Nix. Though I have you to thank for all of it.
Nonsense, child. Our records must be kept up to date. You merely observed that several were long past due. Not even your father can argue with that.
I hope not.
I wouldn't have noticed that, or I wouldn't have learned that duo boons can't be gotten in trial rooms either. That was a really important thing to know, because that was often a deciding factor on whether I took them or not. So yeah, if you have any cool Hades advice, I'm always open to it, even if it's stuff I know. It doesn't hurt to have the discussion. Another shield run next.
This looked like a shoulder to cry on to you, boyo.
Oh, Skelly, don't be so rude. All right, well, Kiwi, I think we have officially gotten all 20... We've gotten all 20 bounties on the rail. That's pretty cool, too, and now that I think about it. But with all that said, I think that's where this episode's going to end. So I hope you've enjoyed watching, and if you're awake, I hope this is helping you fall asleep. If you're sleeping, I hope you're sleeping well. I love you, and I will see you in the next one for some more Hades 1.
I'm too young to die.